Attorney, tell us. We've recently seen the death of the MDC's president, Mr. Morgan Tsvangirai. What's your take on that?
Well, the death of Morgan Tsvangirai comes to many Zimbabweans as a blow. He was someone who was instrumental in the political system of Zimbabwe. He was someone who had his party's people at heart, and he will be greatly missed by many in Zimbabwe, for he was a balance of things in the political genre of Zimbabwe. And his death also to me comes as a shock, and may he so rest in eternal peace.
And you really put it out very well. Attorney, there's a question that I want to ask. With the chaos that's happening in MDC itself, people are fighting. Nelson Chamisa is even fighting the grandmother. What's going on?
Well, you see, these are some of the things which are going to be part of the play of the political election system we're talking about. They have given the election to Zanu Pf, and Zanu Pf is going to win the election. Why? Because we have Nelson Chamisa fighting or having put himself as president. Remember, these were the same people who were saying he had imposed himself as president of Zimbabwe. It's the same thing he has done. He has put himself as the new leader of the movement for democratic change. Whereas the leaders who were there was Mudzuri and Kupe, who were already there on the top notch of the party. But he went, he took his hooligans, guys in the SRC who make noise everywhere, chanters, and they quickly gave him a post. Look at the way he did it. He went through a hole to make sure that he tells the people that he's now the president of the MDC.
Okay, Attorney, I like one thing that you've said. You said they are now going to beat Zanu. Which means, I remember we did in our previous interview, where you spoke of MDC being a threat to Zanu Pf because they're stirring up the rallies and people are now focused on MDC. Look at it. I want you to look at it in this way. Actually, we're having Zimbabwe right now, as we speak. Zimbabwe is chanting MDC. There's a whole lot of things going on within the MDC party, and people are now focused on MDC. Won't you think that focus going to MDC is now going to lead people to start thinking about MDC maybe on votes, and we might have people voting for MDC?
No, people are not focused on MDC. People are focused on the funeral of the president of the MDC. It is the thing of the moment. It's a sad situation that is happening in the country. And unfortunately, we have people in the MDC who are using it for their own political advantage, for their own political prowess, which is very unfortunate and it is very disgusting to think of. Zanu Pf is the one which actually has got the power hand right now in the political system of Zimbabwe, and the MDC is ruining itself. A divided kingdom will never stand. Biblically, a divided kingdom will never stand. Jesus says it clearly. A kingdom divided against itself can never stand. And this is what we're seeing happening in MDC. MDC is not going to be able to stand elections against Zanu Pf because it's divided. And this division is actually the real thing which is going to make a resounding victory for Zanu Pf.
Well said, Zanu. Actually, I've got another question for you. With Morgan Tsvangirai's death at hand, and of course we pay our condolences to the family. So, what do you think Zanu Pf has got a hand in his death?
Well, I mean, Morgan Tsvangirai was ill of colon cancer. We all heard about it, and it is something he had accepted. He wanted to be alive, but you know, cancer and the way it's going all over the world, cancer is killing millions of people. It's something that is there. People have to accept that people grow up, people are born, and people die.
But Attorney, I understand, and I think the rest of Zimbabwe understands that cancer is taking a lot of people. But with Morgan Tsvangirai specifically, at his age, and I understand the people die, but the question within everybody, every Zimbabwean, in fact I'll say every Zimbabwean's mind, people, I've heard people on social media, I've seen, because we focus on Africa, but now on social media we are seeing people saying Morgan Tsvangirai was poisoned by Mugabe. Some say he had tea, which led to his death.
Those are political lies. Those are political words which people use in order to gain political mileage. in order to gain political relevance. Morgan Tsvangirai
So you're saying Mugabe had no hand
he
in...
had no hand, I wasn't there. Nobody was there, nobody can say that.
But
And
we saw...
Morgan Tsvangirai himself never alleged that. This is a situation that people are saying, these are things that people are saying, and we haven't heard it from Morgan Tsvangirai's family. We haven't heard it from Morgan Tsvangirai's wife. And this is other people who are using the death of Morgan Tsvangirai to create their own political seats, political voices to be heard by the world over. But as far as I'm concerned, and as far as many Zimbabweans who are well read and who are really, really into political situations, there is nothing that of that sort that has been alleged, and there's nothing of that sort that is on the ground which has ever come in.
Okay, thank you. But attorney, I understand you, and I think you've explained much to everybody watching this video. I also want to look at Nelson Chamisa. Let's suppose MDC wins the elections. Do you think Nelson Chamisa is the rightful heir to Morgan Tsvangirai's throne, or we're just looking at Nelson Chamisa just being someone who just speaks?
Nelson Chamisa, I'm sure you recall even Robert Mugabe called him a supersonic minister. As a minister, he did well, he did good. He proved to be someone who was hardworking. He proved to be someone who can easily get to know things and put them further. But the seat of the presidency, I don't think is ready for it. This is a seat which needs maturity and someone who really is focused on things that are beyond just oratory, things that are beyond just being a smart guy. This is an issue which is experience and a level of maturity to deal with issues of the nation. Look at the United States.
So in other words, you're saying Nelson Chamisa
is not yet mature enough to lead a country. Look at the United States, the kind of presidents they have. 75-year-old Donald Trump is leading the United States. The youngest which we had was Barack Obama, but he was not that young as Nelson Chamisa. All I'm saying, Nelson Chamisa would need another 10 years to be someone who can be responsible for the nation of Zimbabwe.
Wow. Attorney, I think everything being said and done, for the questions that I had for you today, you really answered them very well. But I would like one thing, for you to say one thing. What can you say to fellow Zimbabweans?
All I can say to fellow Zimbabweans, this is a bad time for the family of Tsvangirai, and I wish them a speedy recovery from this emotional trauma that they have received as a family. I pray God also gives them comfort during this time. But however, be that as it may, I want to encourage the people of Zimbabwe to go and vote, and to vote wisely. I want to encourage peace, peace, as the president has always been saying, so that Zimbabwe can also be seen as a country which is now at the helm, as it was always in Africa. We want a situation where people begin to emulate Zimbabweans as a people, Zimbabweans as a country, forever and forevermore. I think that's generally what I would advise people of Zimbabwe to put in their hearts. Go and vote. Your vote is the only power which you have. And vote wisely. Zimbabwe still has a chance to become the greatest African country again.
Anyway, Attorney, thank you very much. This was a great interview. And everybody watching us from home, we are Unique Africa Media Group. We bring you the best of African material, African news, African documentaries. And feel free